welcome back to the Compliance Kitchen podcast. This is Sylvia, and today I want to take a quick look at a recent guidance that came from FinCEN, or the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. And this is in regards to ultimate beneficial ownership information filings that will be required starting in January of 2024. Now, before we get into a little bit more detail on this, please note that what you hear on Compliance Kitchen is not legal advice and it should not be used as such. Now, going back to the guidance, this was toward the end of March when FinCEN issued. This is a first set of guidance materials to help understand the public and in particular small business community what will be this filing requirement look like. Again, it's on the beneficial owner and it will start in January 1, 2024. So this will apply to many corporate entities, LLCs, and other legal entities that are created in or registered to do business in the US. And they also published frequently asked questions. These are available on FinCEN.gov website. There's also key filing dates, key questions around this. There is even an introductory video on YouTube. And there was also a news release on FinCEN.gov/news. And I took a look at the frequently asked questions. So kind of going through them, the first question that was asked was, what is beneficial ownership information? And so it's information that refers, as the name suggests, to the individuals or individual who directly or indirectly own or control a company. The second question was why this reporting, and so there's a longer explanation, but kind of in a nutshell, it is to, of course, enhance corporate transparency and to make it more difficult for bad actors to hide their illicit gains. Should my company report beneficial ownership information now? So the answer is no. Again, this will be starting on January 1, 2024. FinCEN is putting together an online platform where this reporting will be taking place. So once they have that hopefully it will be by the January 1 deadline. Another question was which companies will be required to report, and so generally this will be a requirement for domestic reporting companies, so corporations, LLCs, or again any other legal entity that was created by filing documents with a Secretary of State or similar such office. Also for certain foreign reporting companies, which would be legal entities that were formed under the law of a foreign country and are registered to do business in any U.S. state or tribal jurisdiction, again by filing documents with a Secretary of State or similar such body under the law of a U.S. state or Indian tribe. Now, there are also exemptions. And in fact, FinCEN tells us that there are 23 different types of entities that will be exempt from beneficial ownership information reporting requirement. And so they, in the FAQs, if you want to take a look at that, they list them all in much more detail. As far as the definition on who is a beneficial owner of a reporting company, FinCEN tells us that this would be an individual who directly or indirectly exercises substantial control over the reporting company, or who directly or indirectly owns or controls 25% or more of ownership interest of the reporting company. The definition gets more detailed. So if you, again, this is in the FAQs on FinCEN.gov if you want to take a closer look at it. And there's also a visual representation of what they mean by a beneficial owner of a company. There was also a question on what specifically FinCEN will expect in terms of the reporting. So what they will want to see on the beneficial owner is their name, date of birth, and address, some form of acceptable identifying number from an identification document that they accept, such as driver's license issued by a U.S. state, passport, or a identification document that was issued by U.S. state, local government, or Indian tribe. So there's different options to choose from in terms of acceptable documentation. And lastly, I was curious to see who will be able to access this information, and it will be limited to U.S. federal agencies engaged in intelligence, law enforcement, and national security activities, state, local, and tribal law enforcement agencies with court authorization. The Treasury Department will be able to access, and also financial institutions that use beneficial ownership information to conduct their required due diligence process on customers, and also federal and state regulators who assess financial institutions for compliance with this customer due diligence obligation, as well as foreign law enforcement agencies who submit qualifying requests for this information through a U.S. federal agency. Again, if this is something that you want to read more about, head over to FinCEN.gov, and also YouTube videos on this particular first set of guidance on the ultimate beneficial owner filing requirements. As always, thanks for stopping by in the Compliance Kitchen, and hope to talk to you soon.